Hi, 5th grade. Welcome to Ready, Set, Read. I'm Miss Turner, and I'm excited to be working with you today. Today, we're going to spend some time reading more about Lewis Howard Latimer. Then, we are going to review the race strategy and spend some time talking about a certain skill you may need when answering the questions today, called using context clues. I'm really excited to work with you guys today. In order to be ready to go, I need you to have a pen or a pencil. I need you to have your week 7 distance learning packet and a scratched piece of paper. And then go ahead and meet me in your week 7 distance learning packet on the page with the article about Lewis Latimer. I'll see you there.
All right, let's go ahead and read our second article about Lewis H. Latimer. Second because we read about him last week as well. Lewis H. Latimer. The carbon filament light bulb. Lewis H. Latimer was born in Chelsea, Massachusetts in 1848. Along with Granville T. Woods, Latimer was one of the first major African American inventors. He first worked as an assistant to Alexander Graham Bell. Some have claimed that Latimer, not Bell, actually invented the telephone. However, this is unlikely because Latimer often defended Bell's claims to first inventions in court. Later, Latimer became a member of Thomas Edison's elite research team, Edison's Pioneers. Latimer made his most important scientific contributions here by improving a light bulb that was invented by Edison. Edison's prototypical light bulb was lit by a glowing electrified filament made of paper, which unfortunately burnt out rather quickly. Latimer created a light bulb with a filament made of the much more durable carbon. He sold the patent for the incandescent electric light bulb with carbon filament to the United States Electric Company in 1881, but he did not rest on his laurels. Latimer went on to patent a process for efficiently manufacturing the carbon filament, 1882, and developed the now familiar threaded socket, though his was wooden, for his improved bulb. Moreover, Latimer wrote the first book on electric lighting, Incandescent Electric Lighting, 1890, and supervised the installation of public electric lights throughout New York, Philadelphia, Montreal, and London. Latimer's other patented inventions include such diverse items as the first water closet, i.e. toilet, for railroad cars in 1874, and a forerunner of the air conditioner in 1886. Although today's light bulbs use filaments of tungsten, which last even longer than carbon, Latimer will always be remembered for making the widespread use of electric light possible in public and at home.
Wow, I really enjoyed learning more about Lewis Howard Latimer. Next, we're going to take some time to go through and read the questions for day 2, and we're going to specifically focus on question 2. This question deals with using context clues. So we're going to spend some time practicing using context clues so that you can get better and that you can feel more confident in answering question 2 and other questions like it that you may see in the future. So go ahead, meet me at the questions that are after the passage today, and we will go ahead and get started on answering those. See you there.
For the past 2 weeks, we've talked about using the race strategy to answer questions. Today, you should still be working to use the race strategy. As a reminder, this is restating the question, then answering the question, citing evidence, and explaining your reasoning. The questions that you have to answer today are: how does Latimer help Edison? What is the meaning of the word prototypical as it is used in the sentence above? Use the clues from the sentence. And then the final question says, this article suggests that Latimer created a more durable light bulb in comparison to Thomas Edison's prototypical design. Why do you think Latimer defended Edison's light bulb design in the Lewis Howard Latimer biography? Use the race strategy to answer each of those questions. But today we're going to spend a little bit of time focusing on question 2 and how we can use something called context clues to help us answer that question and others like it. Today we're going to focus specifically on question 2. Question 2 says, what is the meaning of the word prototypical as it is used in the text? it says to reread the following sentences to determine the meaning of the word. It says, Edison's prototypical light bulb was lit by a glowing electrified filament made of paper, which unfortunately burnt out rather quickly. Latimer created a light bulb with a filament made of the much more durable carbon. We're going to talk about some strategies where we can use the text to help us figure out the meaning of words that we don't know. This is called using context clues. Context clues is when we use clues in the text to figure out what the word means. Some ways we can use context clues. Sometimes the author provides an example and uses words like, such as, and or. An example on the anchor chart says, celestial bodies such as the sun, moon, and stars are natural objects visible in the sky. The unknown word is celestial bodies, but the author gives us the example, sun, moon, and stars, that let us know that that is what celestial bodies are. Sometimes the author even gives us the definition or the meaning of the words. An example, aphids, pear-shaped sucking insects, appear on garden roses in May and June. The unknown word is aphids, but right next to it, the author gives us the definition or meaning of that word when it says pear-shaped sucking insects. Sometimes we have to use our schema or our background knowledge and think about, what do I already know about this topic? Sometimes the author gives us synonyms or words that have the same meaning in the sentence. An example, she knew the figure was fragile when she felt the delicate pieces in her hand. The unknown word is fragile, and the meaning of fragile is discovered later with the word delicate, which is a synonym for fragile, meaning easily broken. Antonyms, or opposite meaning. Sometimes the author gives us the opposite meaning of words so that we can understand the meaning of an unknown word. An example, he is always on time and I am always tardy. The meaning or the unknown word is tardy, and the author gives us the opposite of tardy when using on time. Let's practice using this anchor chart when answering questions using context clues. So, we have 4 different sentences, and we're going to use the anchor chart to help us figure out the meaning of these unknown words. The first one says, Julian grew drowsy as day turned into night. I look over at my anchor chart, and I'm thinking, which one of these can I use? At first, I notice it doesn't appear that the author gives us an example. It doesn't appear the author gives us the definition. I'm thinking, what's my schema? What's my background knowledge? What do I already know about this topic of day turning into night? Well, I know that when day turns into night, that's typically when people go to bed, when you eat dinner, when you're done with all your activities for the day. So I'm thinking maybe that means he's tired, but I'm going to look at the other possibilities to help me with context clues to see if those provide any more clarity. Synonyms, words with the same meaning. I don't really see any words that look like they could be a synonym or an antonym. So I'm going to say that Julian grew drowsy as day turned into night means that Julian grew sleepy. The next thing I'm going to do is look at sentence number 2. Jayla watched with awe as she watched the whale leap from the water. All right, so we're thinking about this word awe. This is our unknown word. Again, I'm looking at the context clues. Which strategy do you think we should use to determine the meaning of our unknown word awe in the second sentence? Ooh, I can tell that you guys are thinking hard. Which strategy should we use? Awesome, you guys guessed it. We're going to use our schema or our background knowledge. What do I already know about this topic? Well, when I think about watching a whale leap from the water, I'm thinking, wow, this is incredible or amazing, or I can't believe I'm watching this. So I used my schema to help me figure it out.
I also noticed that none of the other strategies were going to help me figure out the meaning of this word. So I had to stop and think to myself, what do I already know? And sometimes put myself in that situation to understand it. The third sentence says, the police officers tried to capture the thief, but he continued to elude them. Which strategy should we use to determine the meaning of the unknown word elude? Are you guys thinking we should use example, definition, schema, synonym, or antonym? Oh, that's awesome. I heard a lot of you say antonym, and that's correct. So we're trying to figure out the meaning of elude. We know that the police officers are trying to capture the thief, and we know that to capture means to get someone. He continued to elude them, lets me know that he keeps getting away. They are unable to capture him, so elude must mean that he's getting away from them. Our final sentence says, Keith is benevolent like his mom. They both enjoy helping people. What strategy should we use to determine the meaning of the word benevolent? Awesome job. Thanks so much for working with me on that. I loved hearing you guys call out the strategy, which is synonym or example. It says Keith is benevolent like his mom, and then it gives us an example of how they are benevolent. They enjoy helping people, which means they're kind or nice. It's also a synonym because it's giving us helping people has a similar meaning to the word benevolent. So I included this chart right here where I wrote down the meaning of each of the words that we saw in the sentences above and the strategy that we used to determine the meaning of those words. It's now going to be your turn to answer question 2. You're going to use the same context clues that we just used to answer those questions. To answer the question, what is the meaning of the word prototypical as it is used in the sentence above? Use the clues from the sentences. Please don't forget to write your response using the race strategy. I'm going to give you 3 minutes to answer this question right now. You guys got this.
All right, now that you've completed question 2, you now need to work on questions 1 and 3. And then tomorrow on day 3, you can come back, watch this video again on the DCPS YouTube page, and pause if you need help from any of these slides. I'm going to go ahead and give you about 3 minutes to practice and hopefully finish questions 1 and 3. You guys got this. I know you're so used to answering text-based questions at this point.
All right, 5th grade, I had a really wonderful time working with each of you today. I loved your hard work and answering those questions using context clues, as well as the other questions using the race strategy. What was your favorite thing that we did today? Awesome job. All right, tomorrow, feel free to come back to this video, listen to the read aloud again, or read along with me, and then you will also use the race strategy again to answer the questions for day 3 of week 7. You can meet me back here on Thursday where we're going to be reviewing the day 4 work and going through the exit ticket together. Before we leave, of course, I wanted to share another book with you all. This is another one of my favorites, Franny K. Stein, Mad Scientist. It's kind of a play on Frankenstein. So if you're interested in books like Goosebumps or other things like that, this is a good one to kind of throw in the mix. It's kind of different. So I'm going to read the little blurb to you guys, and yeah. Franny K. Stein is not your average girl. She's a mad scientist. She prefers poison ivy to daisies, and when Frankie jumps rope, she uses her pet snake. The kids in Franny's class think she's weird, wacky, and just plain creepy. Tired of being stared at, Franny decides to attempt her most dangerous experiment yet. She's going to fit in. But when a giant, monstrous fiend attacks the class, everyone knows it's up to a mad scientist to save the day. But has Franny lost her creepy, crawly ways? Find out by checking out this book. Again, you can find this book on the DC Public Library page where anybody can get a library card right now, or you can look in your local bookshops. All right, it was so good to be with you guys today, 5th grade. Again, I am Miss Turner. I will see you here again on Thursday, and please know that all of your teachers love you, miss you, and wish we could be with you. Have a good rest of your day.